What's going on, guys? R9 here, and this is me farming the warrior. The background is just there as background. What I want to talk about today is the new Borderlands game, the pre-sequel. If you guys have heard anything about that, they just put out a video on the Borderlands YouTube channel, and I wanted to give you guys a little breakdown for it. Part 1 came out about a month ago, which I'm really behind on that, but Part 2 just came out like 6 or 7 hours ago, which I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions on what was shown. So that is what this is. Okay, so first off, Episode 1, Matt Armstrong, the franchise director for Gearbox, he said, why isn't it Borderlands 3? He had this question, people were wondering this, everyone wants to know, why isn't it Borderlands 3? And his answer to that is because we wanted to tell more stories from the world that is already here. Which makes sense. There's a lot of things that are open still, or plot holes or whatever, but I'll get into that in a second. I have some notes written down about plot holes, but I think that's a good idea. I think stick with what you have. Don't make something completely new yet when it's still fresh. There's still many things that you can do with Borderlands, but you might be thinking, where'd the idea of a pre-sequel come up with? Like, why would you want a game in between two games you already have? So the idea, this is a quote from Anthony Birch, the writer of Gearbox, or a writer for Gearbox. This is a quote from him. The idea for the pre-sequel basically came about where Randy Pitchford, which is the executive producer, whatever he is, he's like head honcho at, he's like the Vandahar of Gearbox. Where Randy Pitchford worked something out with 2K where we wanted to make another Borderlands game, but also wanted to work with 2K Australia, which, if you don't know, 2K Australia made the BioShocks, Infinite, 1 and 2, like some of the best games ever. Like, I've never played them, but they're all critically acclaimed and like game of the year and all that. So really good games. So they know what they're doing. They can make quality games. So they wanted to work with them to make a game, something we wouldn't make entirely internally, so we'd have a fresh look on things and other opinions, which I think is a really good idea. They're well known for making games, 2K, so that's good. And I think it's going to be, they'll add a lot to it. They'll have their opinion in there and all that. So what I was talking about with the plot holes. The main plot hole, the main plot hole I think there is with the Borderlands universe right now is the moon. As you can see, it's all cracked and you can see lava and the whatever. In the first one, it was solid. Nothing wrong with it. In the second one, there's a space station and it's destroyed. How the hell did that happen? That's what everyone wants to know. So, the idea for the moon came from forums and message boards where the fans were speculating on what happened to the moon. Like, it's destroyed. It's how? Why? So they wanted to explain why. They wanted to do that, and they thought that a game on the moon would be freaking cool. Like, all the things you can do on the moon is crazy. Like, the zero gravity and the different technology you'll have to have on the moon to live and all that stuff. That would make for a really amazing game, in my opinion. You can do so many different things. The zero gravity, you can float, you can like jetpacks and different guns and stuff. They can implement all that into the game, which they have this thing called a butt slam. Well, it's just a slam, but they call it the butt slam at the studio, and it's to deal with the zero gravity. If you jump and you're floating through the air, how do you come back down? So they implemented this slam where I think you use your oxygen tank to propel you back to the surface, and if you do it like next to an enemy, it will disorientate them, or however you say that word. It'll make it so that they stagger, and you can get a couple shots off on them and get the upper hand. So that's really cool. Also, the new guns, they have laser guns and freezing weapons, which the freezing weapons they talked about in the episode 2, which I'll have a link to in the description if you guys want to watch it for yourself. But the freezing guns, a couple shots will slow them so their bullets don't fly as fast and they don't move as fast, but a couple more will freeze them entirely, so they'll just turn into a block of ice. And from what they showed, once you freeze them and they're low enough health or whatever, and they get meleeed, they will shatter, which is really cool, I think. And the shatters of ice or whatever, they kind of float a little bit. They don't just like fall straight to the ground because of the gravity. And I think they did a really good job with implementing the zero gravity and the floating and all the things that they had to research to put into this game. And the freezing, that's pretty cool. But they said if you freeze someone and switch to a laser weapon, they didn't show this, but they said it. If you freeze someone and switch to a laser weapon, you can slice the block of ice straight in half, which I think sounds really cool. I'll be doing that a lot if I have the chance. You know, if I'm not getting destroyed from another enemy, I'm gonna switch to that laser weapon and see if I can cut it different ways instead of just in half. I can cut it down the middle and all that. I think it'd be really cool. So all in all, I think they are doing a really good job with this game. There's a lot of things that you do want to know what happens to the moon. Like, look at it. Nobody knows why it's like that, or why that space station's up there, or anything. And you want to know, so that's why they're making this game. I think they're doing a good job with the Borderlands 1.5 or whatever. We didn't need a 3. It wouldn't. It would have taken too long, and they didn't have enough time to make a 3 with them making Battleborn. So I'm happy that they made 1.5, and I'm really excited for the game. So if you guys like this type of video, please leave a like and a comment on what you're excited most about for Borderlands pre-sequel. But yeah, more parts will be coming out. I will hopefully be making videos on those parts. If you want to watch the parts yourself, they're linked in the description. And that's about it for now. Till next time. Later.